All right, we'll call this video Old Film Man Shakes Fist at Clouds. Uh, so I woke up this morning, got myself a gun. A bunch of people had sent me the trailer for the remake of Roadhouse. I didn't know that there was a remake of Roadhouse coming up, but I like the director. I like Jake Gyllenhaal a lot. Prisoners and Nightcrawler, and he's proven himself to be a dramatic actor. He's proven himself to be a physical actor. Look at something like Southpaw. He transformed his entire body, but still gave a performance like Rocky or like Warrior. So watching the trailer, I was like, okay, this is fun. Like I'm down with this. Full disclosure, I'm not a huge fan of the original one. Not a fan. Okay, I like it for what it is. It's a piece of '80s schlocky, cheesy fun. He fucking kills everybody and rips throats out, and dudes fuck dudes like him in prison and all that type of stuff. And it's my way or the highway, and all that. Let's have a Patrick Swayze Christmas, as Mystery Science Theater would say. I put it in the same category as like Top Gun, stuff like that, like movies that I enjoy, but I don't actively seek out. I would much rather watch Ghostbusters, Goonies, Gremlins, something like that. Mannequin, not Mannequin. So I'm watching the trailer and I'm like, all right, cool. I'm down with this. My buddy Eric was a producer or distribution on part 2 of Roadhouse that went out through the Anchor Bay. So I was like, well, it can't be any worse than that. And then we get to the end, and I went, oh, streaming only. And that preamble leads to the topic of this video. What the fuck? The theatrical experience is essentially on its last legs. And as someone who, books films for theaters, that's a little bit frightening. It's scary to watch pieces being taken off the board, especially in spots on the theatrical calendar where money could be made. I understand the idea of, because we've seen the death of the mid-range, the mid-budget drama, and movies like that, the erotic thriller. All these movies have kind of gone away from the film world because, as Matt Damon said on Hot Ones, once DVDs were no longer part of the equation and things went to streaming and the game changed, it became harder and harder for people to make a profit off of these things. So I get that. You can't change the wheel of time. You can't slow it down. You can't, what's coming is coming. I think COVID happening proved to a lot of people that, that you can have a direct to your home, direct to your laptop, direct to your phone link for films. But with that said, like Tarantino said, no one's making 35 millimeter prints or 70 millimeter prints if you're not Tarantino and if you're not fucking Chris Nolan, okay? So sending a DCP or a direct, because even Southpaw, I brought it up, that was the last one I remember, was just a direct link to my theater's hard drive. I just put it onto a drive and put it in a projector now because you don't need a physical copy of it. And pretty much every theater has a library system when it comes to your trailers and your films and your cues and all that shit. So, the cost of the 35 millimeter prints coming from the labs and being shipped all over the country, that's been taken out of the equation. When it comes to marketing a theatrical film that's, but I guess I can't even say that. It's not an IP because Roadhouse is a known IP. So it's not like I would say taking a movie out of the theaters that would be Oscar bait and putting it on Apple TV or Amazon Prime or Netflix. Like you had the first one I remember like that was Don't Look Up, the Jennifer Lawrence and Leonardo DiCaprio movie, and that got nominated for an Oscar. And I was like, wait, but did it play in a theater? Like, what the fuck? Who wants? I don't want. You know, I want my movies to be nominated for Oscars to be theatrical experiences. That's what the Emmys are for. TV. No, granted, I think Don't Look Up did get a small theatrical run, but Maestro didn't this year. And everybody's like, oh wow, the acting of Bradley Cooper, and I was like, okay, but like things that go to streaming get lost, or you can tune them out because everything is right there at your fingertips. It's not the same as going to a theater, plopping down your $12, $13, $14, and then being engrossed in the situation. If you're on your phone or something like that, I'm gonna come in and tell you to get the fuck out of the theater. Not like that, because I want to keep my job. But like, it's harder to immerse yourself in a movie that's going to be nominated for Oscars when you're looking at Facebook at the same time, or folding laundry, or whatever it is normal people do. So I'm not crazy about this idea of so many more titles going direct to streaming platforms. It dilutes its value. It also, and again, I sound like a sad old man. I understand the world was very different when I first got into film and when my tastes were shaped and all that shit. But still, I've got the bully pulpit right now. I'm gonna talk. Damn it. With so many things coming out, shit gets lost, and like you go, oh, I didn't even know this came out. There was a movie about DeLorean, the guy who created the car, and like the sting for him with the government and all that. It was that plot point was a little part of that whole movie, was a little part of the People versus Larry Flint movie back in the day, that Courtney Love was nominated for an Oscar for, and it played in the movie theater, so she deserved it. But like now you go through and you see these movies, you're like, oh, I didn't even know this came out. Like, and it's harder to find things when there is so many things out there, that like something really good that could have played in a theater now is not playing in a theater, like a fucking Roadhouse, or prime example of this is after COVID, Disney pulled Seeing Red off of the release schedule and moved it just to Disney Plus. Now I understand Disney Plus was a new streaming platform. They were trying to get people to tune in, but as somebody who runs movie theaters, there was a giant gap made by that where you could have taken the kids to the movies and you could have had the market share at that point. I didn't have anything to run. I remember I didn't have anything to run for birthday parties because there was no fucking kids movies out at that point. While Seeing Red is over here on Disney Plus, and people were like, well, I don't have Disney Plus, but I got a movie theater 10 minutes away. I could have just gone there. But now Disney's putting that and Soul back into theaters. Granted, Disney has not had a great run over the last 2 years, It seems like everything they're putting out is just tanking. And Soul came out during COVID, so I understand that one not getting the same kind of looks because it was plugged into its theatrical experience, and people couldn't go to the movies, obviously. Same thing with Homeward or Onward or whatever that one was called. That one got hurt by by COVID as well. But there is still a market for movie theaters. There is still. I want movie theaters to be not just Marvel. I want them. Yes, the tent pole is there. The reasons to go see the fucking 4DX movies and put on your glasses and get poked in the back and water sprayed in your face and shit like that. That's fine. If that's what they want the theme park experience. That's great. But some of these theaters have 13, 14, fucking 15 screens, 22 screens. You got to fill it up with something. You've proven that people will still go out to the movies. Barbie is an IP, but the way that was marketed wasn't marketed as a straightforward, like, oh, this is the Barbie movie. It'll be sort of like, I don't know, what are some other like IP movies like that where, I don't know, like when they adapted like the Brady Bunch movie or the Beverly Hillbillies, like you go in exact knowing what you're going to get. Maybe you'll get a satirical slant on it, but it's the same thing. Barbie gave you something completely different. You have fucking Godzilla minus one getting nominated for Oscars, having its theatrical run. It's you know, it's a foreign language film of a giant fucking monster, and yeah, everybody knows who Godzilla is, but like, it still was not the big mainstream Legendary Pictures version of Godzilla, and that did well. You got Mean Girls, which is a musical, doing well. There are films out there which can make money in the theaters if given the proper chance. And now that I say that, I know it sounds stupid. Barbie got a fucking shit ton of marketing, and it's a Warner Brothers movie, and it's huge. But like, I don't see why they wouldn't give the same kind of push to a Roadhouse in a theater that they would give to like a Rock movie of late. His movies are in that place, or like a Ryan Reynolds movie that isn't Deadpool. You have these type of films, and you have the market out there for them. You have people who want to go to the movies and to see something that's not Spider-Man or Batman or whatever. I'm having a harder and harder time understanding the concepts that yes, save money, take it direct to the consumer, great, that's all that. But like, the movie theater is such a vital release mechanism of cinema. And, do you want to sit in the dark around people who are texting and it costs a ton of money and all this kind of stuff? No, but again, like I say, there is something different and special about seeing a movie on the big screen. Now you're going to say, oh, I've got a big screen in my house. Well, fuck you then. I'm speaking from what I care about and what I love. And I'm getting tired of just seeing shit like, I'm tired of seeing that fucking excuse too. Like, all right, then go fucking watch the Avengers. Go watch Avengers Endgame at your house then. Okay? Fuck you. Don't see the communal experience of the theatrical experience with everybody. Like, there are just times when I think back on certain films and the experience of being with other people, strangers mostly, in that made that experience even better. Like Grindhouse is one of the ones I always talk about. Like, that is the single greatest theatrical experience I've ever had in my entire life, because everyone in that audience was on the same wavelength, and I love that entire thing. I always think back on that night. But just taking these movies off the board that have well-known directors and actors, like they did it, like even Netflix, like Mank. I still haven't finished Mank. I love David Fincher. I love fucking Gary Oldman, but something about it doesn't feel as fleshed out as a Fincher film. Even his newest one with Michael Fassbender, and Maestro too. I feel like the glitz of it being direct to your house and direct to your phone and your laptop, and it's got actors who that are big names, Hollywood people, but I always feel like in all of them, like, that's what they're selling. And those movies I just named all seem to be missing something story-wise. And maybe that's why they went to streaming, But no, not really, because people are fucking idiots who go to the movies and they just like to see shiny things. I just like to see shiny things. But it just bums me out to see the theatrical schedule that I get of movies to book getting smaller and smaller. And but then there's movies that get released to theaters that should go direct to streaming, and it doesn't make sense to me. I'm so confused by who's in charge at Hollywood. Like, can I speak to a manager maybe? The marketing of things, the promotion of things outside of the normal chains when it comes to these movies that go to streaming. Like, looking for something and you go like, oh yeah, that did come out, and oh, the promotion for this, that came out a month ago? What the fuck? Like, when? I don't know. It's weird to me. And does any of this make sense, or am I just rambling like a fucking psychopath? But I don't know. I saw that trailer and it just got me kind of like angry. That I was just like, well, wait a minute. Like, why aren't we getting Roadhouse in the theater? I know a bunch of fucking dudes who are my age and older who will be like, fuck yeah, Roadhouse. There's probably a bunch of, like, I don't know who those guys were. They're probably like MMA dudes and shit like that. we can, if it's that, we could have like a vaping section in the theater. It'd be great. A craft beer section, craft IPAs. I don't know. It's frustrating, and then it's even more frustrating to see companies like Disney go, well, we're going to put this out now to try to like make up some gains at the end of the quarter. Well, why didn't you put it out in the first place? You know what I mean? And I don't know. I don't understand movies anymore. I don't understand company thinking of things anymore. I get wanting to watch something. I want to watch Stranger Things at home. I want to watch. I don't know. I don't really watch those Marvel shows, but like I've given the Star Wars ones a chance or shit like that. Like there are certain types of films that belong on those types of platforms, but there also is the idea of these things need to be given a theatrical run with a proper push and see how they do. Because, the last thing I want to do is if I really, really want, if fucking Roadhouse is my favorite movie ever, and I gotta sign up for another goddamn fucking streaming site in order to see Roadhouse, no, I'm done. I've got enough. It's already too much, I don't know. I don't, No Country for Old Men. I don't know. I've tried to play devil's advocate with it, even though I know that every time they do this, it's taking money out of my pocket as somebody who still runs theaters. And I keep waiting for more of those cultural touchstones, like a Barbie type of movie or whatever, to come out and be like, okay, good, it's bringing people back to the movies. Like right after COVID, you had Spider-Man No Way Home. People were back out at the movies again. It was great. I want more of that, but I think that, cutting off your nose to spite your face by just taking it away from people in the theater and going, all right, we're going to put it over here and you got to go find it now, where, it was different. There was something more special when a movie played in a theater on the big screen. Even, these movies that, are up for, for awards, like Best Documentary, Best Short Form, whatever, they still had to play in a festival theatrically somewhere to be nominated for that. And if I'm wrong, if Mank played in a theater, if Maestro played in a theater, I'm wrong. I don't know. But I just feel like it's way less special when it comes to cinema as an art form, when it just goes direct to your TV, direct to your laptop, direct to your phone. And granted, Roadhouse is not fucking cinema. Roadhouse isn't going to be, isn't the Defiant Ones or anything like that. It's not going to change the way we look at the world. It's, but I just wish that directors who go in and do this work, that's the thing. I wonder if the director was told that was the plan. I wonder if a lot of these directors are told that's the plan. Oh, we're going to go direct to streaming with that. Well, then no. Go get fucking the dude who directed Scorpion King 11 to do it. No, I'm not doing that, And again, that just goes into the concept of, what are executives thinking, But then there have been movies that, Evil Dead Rise and stuff that, they're like, no, this is too good. We're going to play this in a theater, and I'd love to see more of that going on there. So it's both sides. I don't know. I probably should have done some research before this. This is just a hot topic kind of thing that I watched the trailer. I got up. I went and ran some errands. And the entire time I was out running errands, I was thinking about this. And this is more than I've thought about Roadhouse in years. But it sucks. It definitely is a shitty situation when, this and many other projects could have been playing in a theater on a Friday night, and it couldn't have been an excuse for people to go out to the movie theater again and fall in love with going to the movies again. And there's always going to be streaming, and it is the way of the future and everything. But I'd love to keep my business in hospice care as long as humanly possible. And yeah, I don't know. I got nothing, man. It drives me nuts. The whole fucking thing just drives me insane. Because I want these places to always exist. I want there to always be big movies, small movies, mid-tier movies, horror movies, comedies, sex comedies, whatever, action movies, dramas, documentaries, all that shit playing in theaters at all times. And I feel like more and more we're just chipping away at those norms to eventually go just to a complete streaming, market, and then only the big roller coaster funhouse movies will be the ones playing in the theaters. And I don't want that. I don't want that at all. So that's it. Roadhouse. I'm gonna wear really tight pants and do roundhouse kicks. I got nothing. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me what's something that that you saw streaming that you wish would have played in the theater. I wish the Snyder Cut would have played in theaters. I would have loved to have seen that in a movie theater. Of stuff more recently. And then there's stuff that, like, the Jennifer Lawrence No Hard Feelings, I think it was. I saw that on streaming because the theatrical window was so short on it that I was like, oh, this would have been great to see in the theater. I think it would have done well, too. Not just because she does full frontal nudity in it and stuff like that, but it felt like a throwback 90s comedy before everything became so fucking PC and safe. Even with the new Mean Girls movie, like, they changed lyrics to make it safer for people, and I'm just like, let people make up their own fucking minds, you know? Not everything is made for you. Not everything is made for me. Like, that's it. I'm done.